What's up, y'all? I'm Goji Games and Pro Inc. Alright, so now I'm gonna play the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES. But before I start my commentary, I just want to say I apologize for the quality because it might look pretty bad. Mostly because, for some reason, my laptop, or as I like to call it, my POS instead of PC, it has a really hard time recording some NES footage on an emulator, but for some reason, it doesn't seem to have much trouble recording some N64 footage. So when I was recording my Super Mario 64 Let's Play, it usually went pretty well, and I would only run into trouble when I was recording not only my voice, but also Yo-Yo Man's voice whenever Yo-Yo Man would join me. But for some reason, I'm all alone, and this is an NES game, which is an older game than a Nintendo 64 game. And for some reason, it has a lot of trouble recording, even though it should be a lot easier because NES emulators should require much less CPU power. Alright, well, hopefully that's out of the way, so on with the official commentary. So I decided to play the NES version over the SNES version, or All-Stars version, because, of course, I practiced on the NES version before trying out the NES version, but the two reasons why I wanted to play this game on the NES version is because, first of all, it's not a very long game, it's like 35-40 minutes long. And it's also because I wanted to add a little bit of a challenge for myself, because if you take the All-Stars version, well, if you get a game over at one point, well, it doesn't really matter because you can just start over from wherever you died. I mean, you can start over on the world you died on. But on the NES version, if you die, it's all over. So yeah, if I get a game over, I mean, it's all over. I have to start from the very beginning. Even though I don't want this to happen, I'm decided to challenge myself to beat this game on the NES because I did it once, or actually many times because I recorded a lot of practicing sessions, especially with all the failed official recording sessions I had. Alright, there we go. So yeah, I practiced a lot because this is a very hard game, and that was made during the NES era, which I like to call. And during the NES era, that was, oh crap, I did a very big mistake. Right, during the NES era, that was when games were usually really hard, and yeah, I actually wasn't born during that time, so I can't really tell if most games on NES were hard, but I'm assuming that, oh crap, I did something wrong. I keep doing something wrong here. Okay, there we go. I know you're just an imposter, but yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing that, I'm assuming that during the NES era, gamers had to either practice a lot because games were hard and get better over time, or they had to use cheat codes and strategy guides like Nintendo Power, and cheat codes like, for instance, the famous Konami code. Ah, crap, that's not good. Well, screw that one up. I'm doing so bad right now, I don't know why. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I was born at the time when games weren't really too hard anymore. I mean, I was born during the... Oh, I'm doing so bad right now. What's going on? I was born during the end of the NES era, but during the beginning of the N64 era. So yeah, end of SNES and beginning of N64. So yeah, games for me weren't really too challenging, depending on which games. Like, for me, some NES games are still really hard for me. Like, a good example would be Super Mario Kart. I mean, it's not just because, for me, it's not because it's naturally hard for me, it's also because I'm really bad at racing games. So, yeah, but on the N64 side, games weren't really too hard for me. I mean, that's pretty much at the time when games were having a more average type of difficulty, or they would have a difficulty setting. I mean, they also had that kind of stuff in some NES games like Mega Man 2. But yeah, I don't remember games being too hard during my time growing up with the SNES and the N64. But yeah, I practiced a lot on Super Mario Brothers because it's really hard, and I hope all these practicing sessions were worth it for this recording session. Okay. So as you can see, I'm skipping all the warps because I want to beat all the worlds, because like my friend Yo-Yo Man said, going through all the warps instead of going through using warps instead of going through all the worlds is like it's like not really playing the game authentically. It's like using a cheat code because you skip a big part of the game. And yeah, I do agree. So I want to beat the entire game by going through all the worlds. And yeah, it's also because I don't want to just partially complete the game. I want to complete the whole game, or depending on how you consider as completing Super Mario Brothers at 100%. I mean, to me, it's not very clear on what exactly you have to do to beat Super Mario Brothers at 100%, or what counts as beating the game at 100%. But to me, it's just beating all 8 worlds. Like, yeah, I wouldn't count the new quest, but for me, beating Super Mario Bros. At 100% is pretty much going through all the worlds without using any of the warps. Now, don't get me wrong, the warps are good for you know, practicing on certain worlds that you have trouble on. But if you really want to beat the game, you can't really, you know, go through, use the warps and say, oh, I beat this game. Because you don't really complete the game when you use warps. You only complete a small portion of it, or half of it, depending on which warps you use. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is about beating games at 100% on my channel. It depends on how hard the game is and how long a game is and all that stuff. But if you take a game like Super Mario 64, that game wasn't too hard, and sorry, it's also because I want to add myself a little bit more of a challenge, because I didn't think it was challenging enough without getting 100%, so I decided to beat the game at 100%. And it's not just because of that, it's also because I did before, or twice, I should say. And it's also, I also want to say that if I want to beat a game at 100%, but I can't do it without a walkthrough, then I'll do that. But walkthroughs are just like, on my channel, are pretty much going to be used as exceptions. Like, most of the time, I'm going to try to beat a game at 100% without using a walkthrough, depending on how hard the game is. But if you take something like Crash Bandicoot, that game is already hard to begin with, so I'm not going to try to get 100%. But if that game was easier without trying to get all the gems and stuff, then I would have tried to get 100% with or without a walkthrough. I mean, depending on how hard it would be for me to try to beat the game at 100% without a walkthrough. But yeah, if I can't do it without a walkthrough, then I'll look up for one. But if I can without, I'll just not use a walkthrough, no matter how long it takes. So yeah, bottom line, walkthroughs are only rare exceptions if I just can't do it, but I really want to beat a game at 100%, but I just can't do it without a walkthrough or anything like that. Alright, so just gotta be careful here. Trying to collect as many coins as possible because I want to live long enough. You know, live long enough. Because the later levels are kind of where the game actually becomes harder, of course, but it's also because there are some points, there are some moments here and there in the game where I probably need some, I will most likely need some extra lives so I can start one part of, you know, this dash something level. Or this stage, I should say. I'm kind of stupid. Yeah, stage. If I just want to retry something on a stage, then I'll just, you know, try again after killing myself so I can start something all over. I mean, they're gonna be very useful for World 8 because there's one point in World 8 where I need to start all over on one stage if I don't get the Fire Flower. Because like my friend Yo-Yo-Man said, the Fire Flower is your best friend in this game. Because it makes you nearly invincible. And yeah, I do agree, so I have to make sure that I don't lose the Fire Flower too many times. And sorry if my commentary isn't great in this Let's Play, it's because I have to focus a lot. Okay, so hopefully you guys can forgive me for this. Now I'm gonna act as if, now if you guys if I talk about something in review and you guys get, if you guys hear any, oh crap, that's not good. If there are any spoilers in this video, well, that's pretty much because I'm gonna act as if all of you have already tried this game out, because if you take a game like Super Mario Bros., which is one of the classics and one of those games considered the best, well, watching someone play this game on YouTube or any other video uploading website before trying the game out, it's like watching a movie review before watching the actual movie. So yeah, if you watch a review, chances are you're gonna get spoiled and you might not want to see that movie. I mean, if a movie is bad, it makes sense because there's some people who just don't want to watch a bad movie because it's bad. Sometimes people just decide to watch a bad movie because some bad movies are considered as so bad they're good type of movies. And sometimes it's just funny to watch something that's unintentionally funny. Sometimes it was intentionally bad. But it depends. So yeah, if you, I just want to say you have been warned, so hopefully those of you who haven't played this game before and don't really like spoilers, well, at least you have been warned, because this is a game where this is one of those must-play games. If you haven't played Super Mario Bros. Before, you have to try it out. No matter how hard it is, just try it out. At least once, and chances are you'll be very satisfied. Okay, I'm gonna try to get in there, because I need coins. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is how it all started. I mean, when did I decide to record a Let's Play on Super Mario Bros? Oh crap, that wasn't good. So it all started when my friend Yo-Yo-Man said I might do a Let's Play on Super Mario Bros., the original Super Mario Bros. And by that I thought he meant like he was gonna have this part of our game exchanging program. So I'm like, okay, let me just practice so I can try to beat this game. And yeah, I practiced a little too much, I guess. And I was able to beat the game after years and years trying to beat it. I mean, I tried to beat this game for years. Not all the time, but there is a moment in life where I took a break from this game. A couple of years. There were a couple of years where I would, stay away from this game so I can take some time playing some other games. But then this year, I decided to try this game, give this game another shot, and yeah, I was able to beat this game after practicing a lot. So yeah, I decided to do a let's play on that, and I told Yo-Yo Man about it. And yeah, that got him all mad because he said something like about me stealing his idea, even though it was more of a misunderstanding. So Yo-Yo Man, if you're watching this, it's more of a misunderstanding than stealing. Well, I don't care about my score, I just care about beating this game. So yeah, I don't care about how high I jump on the flagpole or how high I can get on the flagpole. Alright, we got our first maze here. So we go up, and Piranha Plant's saying that I'm going in the right direction. So yeah, after I beat Super Mario Bros. For the first time, like whether it was with warps or not, I was actually really happy about that, and then I decided to, I first beat it with warps, and then I tried it out without warps. And yeah, beating the game at least once without using the warps was pretty much a milestone for me. So because of that, and because of nostalgic purposes, like if I want to remind myself that I did beat this game, well, I decided to do a let's play on that. And yeah, hopefully all my practicing sessions were worth it. Okay, be careful here. Just trying to... There we go. This is where they introduced the bullet bills, but not correctly. I mean, not at the beginning. At the beginning, they weren't really introduced very well, because that cannon that bullet bill gun didn't shoot, but that one shoots a lot more, I think. Yeah, I'd say a lot more. I want to try something out. Ah, I didn't do it. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to do this, I'm just trying to beat the game. Alright. 7-2. Alright, not 7-2, 5-2. I remember World 5 was my worst enemy the first time I tried to beat this. Oh crap, that's not good. I mean, more specifically, 5-4 was my worst enemy, because that's where I would always die whenever I tried to beat the game, whether it was with warps or not. But now, it's not much of a big deal anymore. I mean, there are some other levels that are much worse. A good example would be 2-3 or what else? 7-3, which is actually the same level, but oh crap. Okay, there we go. Okay. So what was I talking about? Oh, I totally forgot. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. Just gotta be careful. Oh yeah, 5-4 was my worst enemy, but now my worst is kind of debatable. Depends on which one I hate the most, or which one gives me the most trouble whenever I play this game, depending on what's going on. I mean, depends on the RNG, and it depends on how bad I play. Or... oh, gotta be careful. I don't trust these bullet bills, and I never trust the RNG in this level. Oh wow, that was awesome. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all RNG. The bullet bills are all RNG. Maybe it's a pattern, but to To me, it looks more like RNG. I don't remember the bullet bills going in this going through the same pattern. All right. So the levels I like the most in this game, I mean, are the -3s and -1s. -2s depend. I mean, if it's an underwater level, then I don't really like it at all, because for me it's really hard to control the character underwater in a 2D game. No matter if it's this game or another one like Donkey Kong Country. But if you take something like Banjo-Kazooie, like where it's underwater, where there are some underwater moments, but it's all 3D, well, I don't have much trouble with that. And the -4s, yes, I don't really like them because they are some of the hardest ones because of all the challenges you go through. Okay, gotta be careful. Okay, don't want to lose my fire flower here because my fire flower is my best friend. Okay. Okay. Alright, not too shabby. Please don't do this. Okay. Not so bad RNG here. Okay. I can kill Bowser. Or that imposter, I should say. I know it's not Bowser. Oh, it was actually a Lakitu all along. I wonder if it's the same enemy throughout every time you play, or if it's just a random enemy that is disguised as Bowser on each specific world. Alright, 6-1, another Lakitu level. It's actually I actually find this one more fun than 4-1. 4-1 is kind of dull, especially when you get used to that level. I mean, when you're not so bad in this. I mean, I don't know. Depends. Depends on how well the player can do with Lakitu. I gotta be careful here. Oh, that was really close. I almost fell in that pit. Oh, come on, Lakitu, please die. I mean, should go back as a cameraman. I mean, whoa, wait, hold on a second. That was before he was a cameraman, and then he would decide to become a cameraman for Mario 64. And he was also Nah. I'm not gonna talk more about Lakitu because I don't care about Lakitu. Alright. I mean, he wasn't a very good cameraman in Super Mario 64, so who the hell cares? I mean, maybe his best role, in my opinion, was in Mario Kart, where he would give the signal and pick you up if you crash somewhere, depending on what happened to you in Mario Kart. Alright, 6-2. It's not very an underwater level, but this underwater segment is actually not that bad because it has a lot of coins, and I need coins because I want to survive. Nothing. Okay, that's much better. Just gotta be careful here. Okay. Level 6 or World 6 wasn't really much of a big deal for me. I don't remember having... Oh, that was close. Okay, I don't remember having that much trouble with 6-2 or World 6 in general. 7-1 was my new nemesis after I beat 5-4 for the first time. Yeah, after that was World 8. But now, after being this game more than once, or about more than 10 times now, it's not, it's still very debatable on which one's my least favorite level, or world in general. 6-3 is one of my favorites because of how it looks. I mean, it looks like it has this foggy atmosphere, and that's pretty much the only level in this game that has this kind of atmosphere. All the other ones, like, none of the other ones have this whitish color that makes this level look foggy. Okay, don't trust these bullet bills here. Bullet bill here nearly made me lose my fire flower. Right, focusing here. Okay, there we go. I thought it was gonna go bad, but no, not so bad after all. Alright. So, some things I notice is that some levels are just recycled but made slightly harder. I'm not exactly why they did that. Like, this is pretty much 1-4 recycled, but just slightly harder. Like, they had added more of these fireballs here. A little more obstacles to make it slightly harder. But, yeah, I'm not sure exactly why. But maybe if someone miraculously ends up watching this, well, that was a blooper all along. Not blooper as in movie mistake or anything. I'm talking about the blooper, the octopus-like enemy in this game. But yeah, I still know that not many people or almost nobody watches my channel, so that's why I say miraculously. So if someone miraculously ends up watching my channel, that would be nice if you could explain to me why some levels were recycled and just made it slightly harder instead of just making new levels all the time. But yeah, that would be very appreciated. Okay. But still, I do admire all the creativity that went into making this game. Oh crap! That's not good. Lost my firefly. Doesn't automatically give me the fire flower, but yeah, that's odd. Okay. Another thing I noticed is that this is one of the Mario games that started some of the traditions in Mario games, like Mario being named Mario instead of Jumpman. Some of his power-ups, like the fire flower. What else? Yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Theme. Lots of the enemies. Bowser, I think. Maybe it was created in another game before that. But yeah, lots of traditions were traditions were created in this game. And that's how big of a classic this is. Okay, gotta be careful with those bloopers. It's a good thing they're not too rude. Actually, nicer than I thought. Oh, I don't trust that blooper here. Okay, not so bad. Could have been worse. Oh, didn't go so bad after all. Usually on this level, I lose my mushroom, but yeah, at least it didn't happen this time. Heading on for 7-3, which is pretty much like 2-3, but just slightly harder because they added these Koopas. Crown 0. I'm guessing it looks like a crown, but I know it means 10. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Koopas that make this level slightly harder. I don't remember how it went on 2-3, but hopefully I won't. Ah, I knew it. I just knew it. Really hate that RNG here. I'm pretty sure it's RNG. Okay, now we're heading for 7-4, which is the second of its kind, which is a maze, but you go through a specific pattern. But still, it's the last of its kind because the World 8 is another maze, but instead of going through patterns like this, down, middle, and up, you go through pipes. And that's a very creative way to keep the maze idea going without making the idea seem like it's just the same thing over and over again. Like making the idea repetitive. Okay, now that I don't have it. Okay, it went much better than I thought. I thought I was gonna die, but no. Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. Alright? Say that one more time, Toad, and Mario's gonna kill himself because he's been hearing this all day. But still, Mario is supposed to be this heroic character who, you know, cares about everyone. I mean, he's this very positive guy and supposed to be very heroic. And yeah, that's probably a reason why if Mario was himself instead of the player choosing who Mario is, if Mario was himself because he has a personality, well, I think Mario would rescue as many Toads as possible, because I consider Mario as a hero, not an anti-hero or anything like that. But whoa, gotta be careful here. There we go. But still, he's a silent protagonist most of the time, but he's not as silent as characters like Link, where you apparently, well, I did play a few Legend of Zelda games, but not very many, but you apparently choose who Link is, like you choose his personality, you choose if he's a villain or a thief or bad guy in general, but you still have to do some heroic work. But yeah, Mario for me, is just always a hero no matter what, because you usually do what a real hero would do, and that was really close. Please die. Okay, thank you. Okay, there we go. Gotta get that one up here. Yeah. You guys probably wouldn't believe how many times I've seen 8-1 because of how many times I died on the SNES version of this game. Okay, so very close. I'm gonna wait till I'm out of range. Okay, I'm out of range. Okay. Come on, just get down there. There we go. Alright. I was gonna get killed by that bullet bill, but yeah. Yeah, I got so many game overs on level on World 8 that... Am I gonna make it? Okay, I did it. This part always gets me tense. I played World 8-1 so many times because I got so many game overs that I kind of remember the 8-1 via memory, muscle memory. Not visually, but maybe muscle memory, because a lot of times I would just be able to do something naturally. That Goomba there is not gonna get me by surprise. But on 8-2, 8-2 is a level I like to call the infinite lives level, because if I die and I get to the point in the level where I can get that one up, well, at least I can still pick it up again after I die, and you know, just not die and not get a game over. Just get that mushroom every time I die. Oh, he dared. Please go back up. There we go. Good boy. Okay, I need to get the fire flower. I need to keep it. Okay. Because it's gonna be very useful for 8-4. Without the fire flower, I have a lot of trouble going through 8-4. Okay. Sometimes it... Okay. Doesn't register too late. Okay, they can still throw hammers even though they're dead. They can still die, but throw hammers at the same time because they're pretty much like, hey, I'm taking you with me. Not gonna be very useful, so yeah, I'm not gonna bother. Because this is the last level and I got the fire flower, so chances are I'm gonna beat this without having too much trouble. Okay. How many times am I gonna die on this part? Come on, please. Oh, that was awesome. He just disappears. I mean, I don't know if it was a he or she, but I don't care. It's a piranha plant, and it sucks. It's in my way. Always in my way. Especially whether I have the fire flower or not. Okay. Please don't do this. Okay, I got this. This time, I'm gonna make it. We're gonna make it, Mario. As long as you don't do something stupid, as long as I don't mess up my controls, and as long as we get good RNG. So, here we go. Okay. Okay, skipping the hammer, brother. Oh my god, that was close! Wow! The hammer was right on top of Mario's head. Wow. Well, I beat the game again. Thank you, Mario. Your quest is over. We present you a new quest. Well, sorry, Peach, or Toadstool. I'm not gonna go through that quest because that's pretty much the same thing. It's just a looping game. Alright. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. And yeah, before I end up completely, I want to say, I forgot to say during my Super Mario 64 outro that I have some Super Mario 64 outtakes ready to be uploaded. So if you guys want to see them, go on the final video. I mean the Super Mario 64 finale. Skip to 1720 and vote on the poll, or just leave a comment and ask me to, or just ask me to upload them. If I get enough requests, I'll upload them. So yeah, anyways, subscribe, like, comment, give me feedback, support me if you can. Check out Yo-Yo Man for his Crash Bandicoot Let's Play, and also check him out for his Super Mario 64 Let's Play. He's gonna finish that game, whether it's on 100% or not. And yeah, stay tuned for my Crash Bandicoot Let's Play. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.